Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Wiegmann, and I'm at the Wally Marshall Memorial. I don't know what you say when you got, like, your backdrops are huge.
The tribute to Wally Marshall.
Yeah, I'm with Mark with Strike King Lews. This is just, tell us where we are.
It's kind of eerie, isn't it? He's like, we have Wally looking over our shoulder at us, and it's like he's keeping an eye on us here.
It's like the godfather of crappie
The
fishing.
godfather of crappie. You know what? He could embrace that.
He would, but he just keeps going.
We just don't know if we want him to think that.
That's exactly right. So we come to the Crappie Expo 2021, and you guys have a huge booth. You have a lot of lures, and you have a lot of rods, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just kind of focus on the rods because you guys got so many rods, and of course you have. Of course, we have to say it. You have Mr. Crappie rods, and so
we are all in with Mr. Crappie.
That's what you said. You're like, oh, we're
like
stuck.
Yeah, everything. If it's in the crappie world, it's Mr. Crappie.
That's right.
And it's it's like he's always called him the Pied Piper because it's wherever he goes, people follow him. And,
yeah.
He's done a great job elevating the crappie world and bringing light to it and getting more people involved, and that's the exciting part for us is that we love seeing new anglers come in, and it's like, fishing is the one area where we have access. It could be, you don't have to have, look, I'm thrilled for the boat companies. Everybody loves a good boat. I fish out of a kayak, and it's made that possible, but downright, if you get to it, if you got a neighborhood pond, you can go fishing.
That's right.
And there's just, there's private waters, but there's so many more public water. And there's nothing better than whether you're on a bank or in a boat seat or as long as you're out there fishing.
That's right. And so we'll get to the products because most people, they want to hear about that. They don't want to hear us talk. But do you have some new products for this year?
We do. So we're coming out of ICAST. That was in July.
Right.
And we introduced this year the new Wally Marshall Classic Signature Series rods. It's an old school kind of going back to one of it's a revamped of one of the original rods that Wally came out with.
Gotcha.
It's got the cork handles. That beautiful emerald green shine to it, and it's in all the popular, there's rods for trolling, there's rods for casting,
right?
There's rods for jigging. There's
one of them?
Yeah, that's one. So this is, and you can see the cork handles.
Right.
This has got a rear seat on it, kind of similar to like a fly rod.
Right.
And we have a reel that's similar to like a fly reel. It's called the Solo, but it's one of those. It's great for vertical jigging.
I gotcha.
And it's just, they're so light and so comfortable. They come in all different sizes, that's up to, the longer troll. But everybody used to think those long rods were for trolling. They're for vertical jigging, too. That's
right.
To me, one of the things that has changed the game so much is how the units on the trolling motors and the live scopes and the active targets and all of that has absolutely changed the game. Well, fish are still wary and spooky. Well, if you've got a 16-foot rod, you can back off quite a bit and just drop it right in.
Yeah. How many 16-foot rods? How many models of 16-foot rods do you have?
Well, we've got some in the Crappie in the Signature Series.
Right.
Have some in the Pro Target. It's a big deal, and it's like.
So you have more than one because
we do. So we do a 16-foot, a 14-foot, 12-foot, and a 10-foot. It's just we've tried to fill that gap for what people need.
So this extended the 16-foot. That is kind of new, though, right?
Yes.
I mean, you guys are just blending now, just starting to get in. Do you think there's a 18 or 20-foot?
I wouldn't
market rod?
I wouldn't say no because who would have thought several years ago how much electronics have changed the game?
Right.
You could have said a couple years ago, well, these guys aren't going to pay that much to have that stuff on the front of their boat.
Right.
We're wrong.
Yeah.
It's, you introduce stuff and you give it a chance and see, And then all it takes is for someone to be successful on it, and it becomes the next greatest thing.
What do you think about? We'll just take a break from this rod talk. And what do you think about electronic fishing and how it's changing the whole sport of crappie fishing and fishing? But
well, I'm all for anything that's going to get people interested in fishing.
Right.
And one of the biggest knocks for some people is the lack of success they have.
Right.
And anything that you can do to increase your success ratio,
right,
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. No one wants to go out there and not catch fish.
No, absolutely. Yeah. People love to go fishing, but they also love to go catching.
That's right.
And the end game for a lot of people in crappie fishing is what it puts on the plate.
Right.
So, and yesterday when they had the world's largest fish fry,
wow,
we got to taste some of that crappie yesterday, and you can see why people love to eat crappie.
Yeah, he was telling me how many pounds of crappie.
Oh gosh, that
they served yesterday was insane.
I know the guys cooking were, after it was done, I think they all collapsed.
Yeah, I believe it.
That was a lot of fish to cook.
Yep. So you're good with the electronic
I'm good with it.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like
good.
And I'm one of those guys. As long as it's not destructive,
right,
to what we're doing, and I don't think that is. I think as long as we have limits in place,
right,
and to protect and conserve the fish,
right.
But there are so many fish out there. There's a reason in certain areas we have 25. You can catch 25 a day or whatever.
Right, they have limits, so
there's
if
a
they
reason
have to adjust that. Then
and as long as as we keep that in check,
right,
I'm all for it. I want people fishing.
Right,
and if that's what gets them out there fishing, go for it.
Yep. So this is. Did we cover all this round?
I think we
break into
no,
it.
No. So we talked about the different,
the
and it's just so with this rod and then with the Pro Target rod that we've got right here.
Okay.
It's just different styles for different people. As you can see, this has got the wind grips on it.
And this has got those. The wind that
and then this
texture
to me
of that grip
is one of the coolest things for spinning reels.
Oh, look at that.
That goes in there, and then when you screw it back down around the reel seat, and that comes back in, I shouldn't have taken it as far out. But when that comes back down,
right,
it grips around. You don't even see that foot.
Right.
But now what you've got is a nice, comfortable handle.
Right, because otherwise you have the metal that's
got the metal. And so
right.
It's all about comfort. Some people like these, some people don't. But that's why we have the more traditional cork. Everybody loves a cork. I love a cork handle. I mean, it takes me back to my childhood.
Right.
I started fishing with my father. We were fishing for brim and crappie. Right. Way before I ever fished for bass. So,
what about the price point? So people are probably thinking, man, that's going to be a lot more expensive than cork. How does that usually run? I mean, this looks like, is this patented? Do you guys have that patented?
So we work with Wiegmann. The golf. They make golf grips.
Right.
And they have gotten in the fishing industry. We work with them.
Okay.
It's a great partnership.
So
these are a little bit more just because of these cost a little more. Right. It's all about what a rod cost.
But I mean, you can expect to pay more for one that has that grip.
Just because the wind grips are a little bit more expensive.
Okay. Right.
But this comes in all the popular sizes. This goes up to a 16-foot rod. This is a 6.6. This is you can shoot docks with this.
Right.
You can cast with this. Feel how light that is. I mean there's nothing to that rod.
Yeah, I felt these at iCast. So
they are.
Wally was showing me at iCast. I was like, man.
Wally is really proud of these, just because of the technology and going forward. But these are IM8 blanks on there, so really good quality blanks. They're not. I think these start at 79.
Right.
And, obviously the longer the rod, there's more material, so it goes up. I want to say, I don't want to say because if I'm wrong, someone will say he was wrong. but
it
know,
kind of starts in that. And
it goes to 79 and up. So, but yeah, this. No, I'm excited about these rods.
Yeah.
I love to
It's a
crappie
cool
fish.
rod.
I don't. I live in South Carolina now. I'm from the
That's
Memphis
right.
area, so I've had to actually learn to call it crappie, not because the South
They
Carolinians.
made you change
It's
your name
yeah,
on them.
I have a hard time calling something crappie.
Right.
But
That's what they call them.
that's what they call them there. So it's if I lived in Louisiana, I'd have to learn to say sockeye.
Exactly. No, it doesn't
Or
matter.
if I was in Florida, call them specks.
It doesn't matter what you call them. They're all good eating.
Yeah, just as
It
long as
doesn't
someone
matter.
calls me to go with them, that's what I'm all
As
about.
long as you're filleting them.
That's
you're
right.
good with that deal.
Absolutely.
So what else do you have? You have
So,
something else down there, Waves?
We've got, and I don't have one over here, but one of the things that Wally loves to do is shoot ducks.
Right.
It's one of the things I love to do.
Uh-huh.
I would feel much more comfortable if I was fishing a crappie tournament if we got on that water and it's just lined with docks.
Right.
Because
Grand Lake.
I know what to do there.
Right.
The other, going out in open water and finding stuff.
Right.
Like this tournament had a year layoff.
Right. Yep. Off limits. Yeah.
Off limits for a year.
Yep.
And if I've never been to something and don't know, I'd have a hard time going out there and being successful.
Right.
But so Shaw Grigsby came and fished the tournament for us as we had a sponsor's exemption. They ended up making the top 50 and fished the second day.
Right.
And fishing, we get all caught up in crappie or inshore fishing or up north redfish or smallmouth, largemouth, all of that. Fishing's fishing.
Yep.
When you break it down, you're trying to catch something that we're imitating what they eat.
Yep.
And it's just that simple.
A fish is a fish is a fish.
Fish is
People
a fish
are like,
is a fish.
They'll be like, well, I'm going fishing in Florida. What do I need to do? Well, what do you do up here?
Yeah.
You do the same thing when you go down there.
Most important thing you do is bring your rod, your reel, and a bait. And you're fishing.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Rod, reel, and a bait. You probably...
probably some line. You need to put some line on there to hold the bait on.
You have fishing line, don't you?
We do have fishing line. We've got the Mr. Crappie. There we have Wally again. We've got the Mr. Crappie line.
Of course.
But on the Strike King side, we also carry, we just introduced, last year we introduced the new tour grade line, which we carry braid, fluoro, and mono.
Okay.
And then this year we introduced Contra, which is a more economically priced, but still really, really good line. Braid, fluoro, mono.
Uh-huh.
And so, we carry line, and we carry a full assortment of on the Strike King side of crappie baits, and it's a big deal for us. It really is. It's we never just look at it going it's crappie. I mean, there's a reason we're here. We feel like we're that important. There's a reason that we were one of the title sponsors. We feel it's that important to be here and to let people know that we're here to support this industry. We're here to provide good, affordable product that they can go out and be successful with.
Right. Bring some meat home.
Bring the meat home.
Yeah, bring those.
Release to the grease, as Wally likes to say.
I bet a lot of people go, I want your job. I bet you hear that all the time. Man, I wish I had your job.
I've heard my wife say, I wish someone would take your job so you could be home more.
Uh-huh.
No, let me tell you, I'm very blessed.
Right.
I came in this industry in 2007 with Strike King. I actually came in as a video producer and filmed Pro Team Journal, which is Strike King's TV show.
Yeah.
Up until 2011 when Chris Brown left, and he was our marketing manager.
Right.
And Doug Miner gave me the opportunity to step in. There's not very many video producers that go from video producer to marketing manager, but Doug felt confident in me, put me in that position, and I've been in the marketing realm since 2011, and there's not another industry that I would want to be in. This industry is so different from anything else out there that, and I worked in the banking industry,
right?
And it's all was video related. I worked in athletics at the University of Memphis,
right?
Was there during the Penny Hardaway years, which were really, really fun. And so when I say I've been blessed in the positions that I've had and able to experience life like I've been able to. But so yeah, that there is a lot of people that like to have my job. I do thoroughly enjoy my job. I get to hang out, with
you get
the
to
greatest.
fish. You get to fish every once in a while. We've done some
Every
media
once in a while.
stuff. I've seen you
Yeah,
sling a lure.
every once in a while I'll take an opportunity. I've been with Wally. I've been, I've experienced crappie. Wally's the one who taught me how to shoot docks.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Had me
Yeah.
shooting docks in 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Andy Montgomery had me skipping a buzzbait in 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's
When you've got the best teachers out there,
right.
all you got to do is listen.
That's right.
But yeah, it's get to spend time in the boat with Mark Zona, with Kevin Van Dam,
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
Man, Mark Davis. I went with Mark Davis, and like in about 15 minutes, I was ready just to be his caddy, his boat caddy. Or
Did he
just
start
anything.
telling his stories?
Oh my God, yeah.
Mark Davis has got some great stories. Yeah, Mark Davis. And all of these guys, they're not just guys that I work with. I've had varying roles with the company.
Right.
From video producer, marketing manager. I've been over pro staff.
Right.
I've been over our marketing contracts. My new title is I'm over trade shows and media relations. So, I've been very blessed. I've had lots of opportunities to do a lot of great, fun things.
Right.
I've traveled the world. I've been to every state in the union, including Puerto Rico and Hawaii, except. And this is you're going like, huh? How'd you miss these? I haven't been to North Dakota and haven't been to Alaska.
Wow.
But I've been to Puerto Rico.
But you need to go to North Dakota to go walleye fishing.
That's what I've been real close getting there. If the upper reaches of South Dakota and get there and almost. There, I'll tell you, there's been several trips where we were there, and I landed in South Dakota, and Iowa was like a mile away.
Right.
I took the rental car and I drove over. She got out to say that I'd been to Iowa, just to to mark that.
I'm an Iowa boy, so you were pretty close to where I went to college, and that's where I was born and raised. You'd love fishing there. Ooh, farm ponds there. I'd like to go back to farm ponds.
I've got some friends in Missouri that have
stuff.
got some farm ponds, and they're just they hit me up every day. When are you coming? When are you coming? And it's just like, it's not real easy to just drive from Columbia, South Carolina. To in the Thayer, Missouri area and jump in and go fishing with them. But they're always sent giant fish in these farm ponds, and you're just like, that's what I'm talking about with access.
Yep.
I mean, fish are everywhere. People think you've got to go on these big lakes and all that to catch a big giant fish.
Right.
Evident to these farm ponds, they're catching 10-pounders out of farm ponds.
Yep.
Fish get just as big in a smaller, as they call them in Texas, tanks.
Right.
As they do in a big body of water like Sam Rayburn or here, the Red River. So,
yep. And I tell you what, now it's time for Tackle Time. Tackle Time is sponsored by PICO Lures. PICO Lures makes a complete line of hard baits and soft baits. You can check out all they have. And I tell you what, all the products they have, they're for game fish. You can go out there and, of course, get you some fillets doing that. If you want to check out more about PICO Lures, you go to picolures.com. And the other one is Smith Products. And I happen to bring this is my brand new pocket knife from Smith's. I don't want to say it, but Mr. Crappie makes a whole line of products, the Mr. Crappie line that Smith Products makes. And so like fillet knives and all that stuff, but they make these cool pocket knives. I just love these things, and so they're super sharp, but they also make sharpeners. And
they make a really good sharpener. I've got several of their sharpeners.
Yeah, you need to be careful after you do that.
Yes.
You fillet your stuff in the
Matter
house.
of fact, Ricky gave me one for my kid. I've got they have the big pull-through knives.
Right, yeah.
Because I can keep a knife straight. I'm horrible with a stone or a blade because I can't keep the right.
Oh yeah,
angle.
he give you a long
But he gave me the little small ones to use in the kitchen.
Right. Yep.
That has an indent where you can turn it and angle it on the counter.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of those are yellow, like yellow in color, and they're already graded to the stone, so you're just basically pulling it through. So
I sharpened my pocket knife the other day when I went back to the thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. They put a great edge on those knives.
Yeah. So if you want to check out more about Smith Products, you go to smithproducts.com, and they'll help you out. You'll be able to find all kinds of stuff. They even have some hunting products and things like that help out. with some accessories. If they wanted to find out more about Lews and Strike King, where would they go, Mark?
Absolutely. So several places you can go. We are all over the social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are also on YouTube. If you want to go and check out any of our video content across all game fish,
right?
Kings of Bass TV, great TV show that we introduced 2 years ago, and our video crew is second to none, and great look into the life of a professional fisherman.
Okay.
Pro Team Journal is housed there as well, so great shows on learning. If you're trying to find the latest techniques with our top pros, but you can come to our websites.
Okay.
You can, if you're having trouble finding lures, if you're at your local shop and they just don't have what we have, you can find it on our website as well too.
Okay.
StrikeKing.com, Lews.com, and it's lots of info on there as well as how-tos and videos and things there.
All right, great. Well, that takes us to the end of the show, and at the end of the show, I always like to end it with saying, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.